The Nightly Business Report.
Headlines. Good evening. Tonight, after a US court decision that might prolong the existing 90-day freeze on reciprocal tariffs, Sri Lanka might be added to a larger US tariff agreement for smaller trading partners. Chinese enterprises and Sri Lankan public and private sector leaders gathered in Colombo today for the Sri Lanka-China Trade and Investment Forum. The ASPI and S&P SL20 saw minor gains throughout the day, and Sri Lanka's stock market ended the day higher. And in the US, investors considered a late afternoon court decision that reinstated the most comprehensive of President Donald Trump's tariffs.
From Studio 24, here's Anuradhi Vikramasinghe.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us. Sri Lanka could be included in a broader US tariff deal for smaller trading partners following a US court ruling that may extend the current 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs. The development comes as Sri Lankan officials engage in ongoing trade talks in Washington, D.C.
Sri Lanka may be included in a broader US tariff agreement for smaller trading partners following a recent court ruling in the United States. He noted that the 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs by the Trump administration is likely to be extended beyond the 9th of July. The ruling by the US Court of International Trade found that former President Trump wrongly used emergency powers to justify broad tariffs. The court's decision affects global flat tariffs and specific levies on China, Canada and Mexico, giving the administration 10 days to implement changes. However, tariffs under the statutes like Sanction 232 and 301 remain in place. A Sri Lankan delegation in Washington said that while Sri Lanka may benefit from a simplified deal, it is unlikely to regain the earlier 10% tariff.
Sri Lanka Customs has launched a new vehicle registration application that requires only a phone number and vehicle chassis number for verifications. The app allows users to verify a vehicle's legal status by entering the chassis number and receiving an SMS confirmation. However, vehicles imported before 2005 cannot be verified through this application due to database limitations. The app is designed to provide convenient access from mobile devices, enabling users to check vehicle legality from their homes. It aims to help buyers confirm if a vehicle was legally imported, assembled locally, or if it has fraudulent number plates. The launch follows similar initiatives introduced in December last year to improve transparency and efficiency in customs operations. The Sri Lanka-China Trade and Investment Forum 2025 was held today in Colombo, bringing together over 115 senior representatives from 77 top Chinese companies and key Sri Lankan public and private sector leaders.
The Sri Lanka-China Trade and Investment Forum 2025 was inaugurated with the presence of key officials from both countries, including Sri Lanka's Minister of Labour Dr. Anil Jayantha Fernando and China's Minister of Commerce Wang Weitao. Minister Fernando highlighted the deep friendship of growing economic cooperation between Sri Lanka and China. He emphasized the importance of continuous dialogue following a recent China-Sri Lankan Joint Committee on Economic and Trade Cooperation. Minister Weitao expressed China's readiness to support Sri Lanka's development and encourage expanding trade and economic ties. Mr. Krishan Balendra, who is the Vice Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, stressed the Chamber's commitment to fostering cross-border partnerships and a transparent business environment. The Chinese delegation represented major trade chambers interested in partnerships across various sectors. The forum aims to strengthen bilateral cooperation and promote sustainable economic growth between the two nations.
The 20th Build SL Housing and Construction International Expo is being held from today to the 1st of June at the Sirimawa Bandaranaike Memorial Exhibition Centre. This event marks a significant revival for Sri Lanka's construction industry after years of decline due to the COVID-19 pandemic and economic challenges. Organized by the Chamber of Construction Industry of Sri Lanka, the expo features 280 product display stalls and an international pavilion with exhibitors from several countries. The inauguration ceremony will be led by President Andra Kumar Dissanayake and Minister Andra Karunatilaka tomorrow. The expo offers new construction materials, technology and building techniques for professionals, entrepreneurs and homemakers alike. Attendees can enjoy discounts, gifts and daily raffle draws with smart TVs as prizes. The event aims to boost the construction sector's growth and foster networking between manufacturers and end users. With a strong theme of changing Sri Lanka's development trajectory, the expo reflects industry optimism for the future. We're going in for a short commercial break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the nightly business report. Sri Lanka's stock market closed higher today with the ASPI and the S&P SL20 gaining modestly. Trading saw strong share volume and active turnover, reflecting steady investor interest. Market sentiment remains cautiously optimistic amid ongoing economic developments. For further insights on this, we speak with Akna Thinnakun from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Anuradhi. The Colombo Stock Exchange ended the week on an upbeat note, sustaining the positive momentum that was evident across the last couple of sessions. The ASPI climbed as soon as trading opened and ended the day on the green, even though there was some visible volatility during the day. So all in all, the ASPI climbed by about 39 points to end the day at 16,855. Haley's once again emerged as a top positive contributor to the index, and this was followed by Capital Alliance Holdings, Commercial Bank, NDB and RIL Property PLC. Today's turnover stood at 5.2 billion rupees, showing a small decline from yesterday's 6.2 billion level. However, this is still significantly higher than the monthly average turnover level, which stands at around 4 billion rupees. In terms of sector-wise contribution, the diversified financial segment took the lead with a share of 27%. This was followed by the banking sector and the capital goods sector, which produced a joint contribution of about 34%. Thank you.
This week, the Colombo stock market showed steady gains with positive investor sentiment and healthy trading volumes. Key sectors performed well amid stable currency movements and strong corporate earnings. Despite global uncertainties, the market ended the week on a positive note. For further insights on this, we speak with Shahana Kanagaratnam from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Anuradhi. The Colombo Stock Exchange began the week on a relatively flat note, but gained positive momentum as the week progressed. Investor activity remained strong, supported by the release of quarterly earnings from companies with March year-ends. Both retail and high-net-worth investors were notably active, contributing to sustained market engagement. Turnover remained robust, exceeding Rs 4 billion during 4 sessions and reaching a peak of Rs 18.7 billion on Tuesday, largely attributed to the divestment of a 9.99 stake in Hatton National Bank by Brown's Investments through 9 off-board transactions. Sector-wise, investor interest was predominantly focused on the banking and capital goods sectors. Overall, the market demonstrated resilience and upward momentum, with the ASPI advancing by 39 points to close the week at 16,855. Thank you.
Gold prices declined today as the dollar strengthened, reflecting investor caution ahead of important U.S. inflation data. Spot gold dropped 0.6% to $3,295.99 an ounce. So far this week, gold has fallen 1.8%. The dollar gained 0.2% against other currencies, supporting its weekly upward trend. A stronger dollar typically makes gold more expensive for buyers using other currencies. Market participants are closely watching inflation figures to assess the Federal Reserve's next moves. Any signs of higher inflation could push gold prices higher as a hedge. However, a strong dollar and rising interest rates may continue to pressure bullion prices. Oil prices slipped in Asian trading today, heading for a weekly decline amid ongoing uncertainty surrounding U.S. President Donald Trump's trade tariffs. Brent crude for August delivery dropped 0.4% to $63.89 per barrel, while West Texas Intermediate fell 0.5% to $60.66 per barrel. This marks more than a 1% loss for the week, with oil on track for a second consecutive weekly drop. Concerns over the impact of trade tensions on global demand, particularly in the medium to long term, continue to weigh on the market. However, losses were somewhat cushioned by data revealing an unexpected 2.8 million barrel decline in U.S. crude inventories last week. Attention now turns to the upcoming OPEC Plus meeting, where decisions on oil production levels could influence price trends. The Sri Lankan rupee strengthened further against the US dollar today, showing continued appreciation compared to yesterday. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, both the buying and selling rates of the US dollar have declined. However, while the rupee gained value against Gulf currencies, it depreciated against a basket of other major foreign currencies. So let's take a closer look at how the Sri Lankan rupee had fared against key global currencies today. We're going in for a short commercial break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back. Deepal, the premium electric vehicle brand from Chang'an Automobile, was officially launched in Sri Lanka at a ceremony in Shangri-La, Colombo. This marks a new era in sustainable mobility through a strategic partnership between China's largest EV maker and local giant Senok Group.
Deepal, the premium electric vehicle brand from Chang'an Automobile, officially debuted in Sri Lanka at an event hosted at Shangri-La, Colombo. The launch showcased a lineup of futuristic models including the SO7, LO7, EO7, SO5 and the compact Lumin, blending intelligent design with zero-emission performance. Developed by Shang'an's new energy division, Deepal embodies the brand's intelligent companionship philosophy, offering innovation-driven mobility solutions. With prices ranging from 6.9 million to 30 million rupees, Deepal delivers value across a wide customer base. Shanghai Vice President Guang Xing highlighted Deepal's global expansion under the vast ocean strategy and its cutting-edge EV technologies backed by over 1,600 patents. Senok Group's managing director Gerard Fernando emphasized the brand's role in accelerating Sri Lanka's shift to clean and intelligent transportation.
Kotmale has launched a nationwide campaign titled Nutrition for Our Nation to promote sustainable dairy farming, support rural communities and enhance food security in Sri Lanka.
Kotmale has launched its new campaign Nutrition for Our Nation to promote sustainable dairy farming and support rural communities across Sri Lanka. As the country's largest fresh milk collector, Kotmale sources around 180,000 litres of milk daily from over 17,000 small-scale farmers. The campaign highlights the brand's commitment to delivering high-quality, locally sourced nutrition to consumers nationwide. Symbolized by the traditional clay milk pot, the initiative also celebrates Sri Lanka's dairy heritage and farm-to-table journey. Kotmale's operations focus on fair pricing, farmer empowerment and investment in modern technology and sustainability. The company runs 3 ISO-certified milk processing centers and is the first in the industry to digitize milk collection. Through this initiative, Kotmale reinforces its role in strengthening national food security and reducing reliance on dairy imports. The brand also supports farmers with veterinary care training and resources to boost productivity. Kotmale's efforts aim to build a healthier, more self-sufficient Sri Lanka.
HNB PLC has partnered with Litrogas Lanka Limited to enable card and Lanka QR payments across Litro's network of agents, dealerships and service points. This collaboration, finalized in April this year, aims to promote digital convenience and financial inclusion for domestic gas consumers across Sri Lanka. HNB will install POS machines at Litro's locations to facilitate secure, real-time digital transactions using cards and Lanka QR compatible apps. The initiative supports the central bank's vision of a cashless Sri Lanka while enhancing security and traceability in daily payments. Both HNB and Litro expect to partnership to improve operational efficiency, payment transparency and customer experience throughout Litro's distribution chain. Leaders from both companies highlighted their commitment to advancing national digital transformation and providing safer, more convenient payment options for consumers. Capital Alliance Holdings Limited officially began trading on the Colombo Stock Exchange today following its successful IPO earlier this month. The listing marks a significant milestone in the company's growth journey and expansion into public capital markets.
Capital Alliance Holdings Limited officially began trading on the Colombo Stock Exchange today following a highly successful initial public offering. The company marked its market entry with a ceremonial bell ringing at the CSE trading floor led by Chairman Dinesh D'Souza. He was joined by CSE Chairman Dilshan Veerasekara and other dignitaries to commemorate the milestone. A total of 2 billion ordinary voting shares and CALH were listed on the main board. The IPO launched on the 8th of May was oversubscribed on its opening day, reflecting strong investor interest. Despite offering 157.5 million shares, the issue drew applications from 2.33 billion shares with the demand exceeding 23.3 billion rupees. On its first trading day, CALH shares traded between 14 rupees and 15 rupees within the opening hour.
Swiss Tech plc has appointed Daminda Pereira as its new executive director and CEO. Pereira brings over 21 years of cross-industry experience across sectors such as pharmaceuticals, FMCG, automotive, agriculture, manufacturing and construction. He is known for combining on-the-ground sales expertise with strategic leadership to drive growth and operational excellence. A multi-award winning marketer, Pereira has been recognized by Unilever Sri Lanka with honors like Marketing Hero and Wall of Fame. He holds an MBA with a specialization in marketing and is a member of both the Chartered Institute of Marketing and the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. The appointment signals a strong leadership shift aimed at accelerating Swiss Tech's growth and innovation across its core markets. Prima Kottumi has launched its Korean ramen noodles in key international markets, including Australia, Italy, the Maldives, UAE and the UK, marking a major step in its global expansion.
Prima Kottumi Korean ramen has expanded internationally, building on its strong success in Sri Lanka and rising global demand for spicy noodles. Now available in over 30 countries, the brand is known for its bold flavors and innovative taste profiles. Ceylon Agro Industries General Manager Sajid Gunaratne highlighted the brand's commitment to international standards and flavor diversity. The recent launches in Italy and the UAE mark a significant step in Prima Kottumi's global journey. In the UAE, the product was introduced as a prestigious Gulf Food 2025 exhibition, further strengthening the international presence. As a Sri Lankan brand, Prima Kottumi plays a key role in boosting exports and promoting local culinary heritage. The expansion reflects the brand's adaptability and continued leadership in the global instant noodles market.
DFCC Bank recently concluded a successful leasing promotional campaign at the Valipena service area on the Southern Expressway. The campaign, in collaboration with United Motors Lanka, boosted brand visibility and customer engagement for the bank's vehicle leasing solutions. Visitors learned about competitive leasing options, including monthly rentals as low as 1,555 rupees for 100,000 rupees over 8 years. The Valipena location was chosen to maximize exposure and enable direct interaction with potential customers. The FCC Bank representatives provided product education and real-time support, receiving positive feedback. Senior Vice President Asiri Idda Malgoda highlighted the campaign's success in building trust and expanding awareness through strategic outreach. We're going in for a short commercial break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Asian stocks declined broadly today amid renewed concerns over US trade tariffs following an appeals court decision to reinstate them. China's key indexes, including the CSI 300 and Shanghai Composite, dropped between 0.5% and 0.7%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng fell 1.5%. Japanese markets also retreated, with the Nikkei 225 down 1.3% and the Topix off by 0.7%. After Tokyo inflation data came in hotter than expected. South Korea's Kospi shed 0.5% as tech stocks reversed gains from the previous session. Singapore's Straits Times Index dipped 0.3%, while Australia's ASX 200 remained flat amid weaker retail sales and hopes for further rate cuts. India's GIFT Nifty 50 futures rose 0.1%, suggesting a stronger start for the Nifty 50 despite recent market volatility. US stocks ended slightly higher as shares of Nvidia gained after its quarterly results, and investors weighed a late afternoon court ruling that reinstated the most sweeping of President Donald Trump's tariffs.
U.S. stocks finished higher Thursday, with the Dow gaining more than 0.25% and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ each rising about 0.4%. Investors digested a late afternoon court ruling that reinstated President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs, reversing a trade court decision from the previous day that had blocked them. Meanwhile, shares of Nvidia jumped more than 3% after the AI bellwether reported stronger than expected quarterly sales. In other company news, shares of Best Buy plunged more than 7% after the retailer lowered its annual sales and profit forecast amid concerns that U.S. tariffs would weigh on consumer demand for big-ticket items. Boeing rose more than 3% after its CEO said the plane maker aims to increase its production of its best-selling 737 MAX jets. On the economic front, the number of Americans filing new applications for jobless benefits increased more than expected, and the unemployment rate appeared to have picked up in May. And a second reading from the Commerce Department showed U.S. GDP contracted 0.2% in the first quarter.
Xiaomi rolled out its new sports utility vehicle in Beijing as the firm, best known for smartphones and consumer electronics, gears up to further challenge Tesla in the world's largest automaker.
Xiaomi rolled out its highly anticipated sports electric vehicle YU7 in Beijing on Thursday. Analysts see the car as a rival to Tesla's best-selling Model Y, and it could further challenge Elon Musk's company in the world's largest auto market. The firm, best known for smartphones and consumer electronics, will start taking orders for the EV in July. Xiaomi's hoping to repeat the success of the sporty SU7 sedan, which launched last year and has outsold Tesla's Model 3 on a monthly basis since December. Analysts have said while it could pose a major threat to Tesla's Y, the YU7's launch comes as Xiaomi's new EV orders have fallen. This sales dip follows a series of controversies, including a fatal highway crash in March involving an SU7 in driving assistance mode. Xiaomi has said that it'll announce the price of YU7 in July, but analysts estimate that it'll be at most around $45,900. Also predicting Xiaomi will ship 100,000 YU7 cars this year and almost 250,000 next year.
Well, that wraps up today's nightly business report. Closing off the week, we value your opinion as always, so please share your thoughts and feedback with us through email at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. We'll see you again on Monday with the latest updates across the business globe. Until then, I'm Anuradhi Vikramasinghe. Thank you very much for watching and have a good night.